Hello everybody, welcome to Stratoscale Hybrid DevOps Pro. We have an extra special video today. I'm Ariel, I'm joined today by Guy. Hi Guy.
Hi.
Guy is leading our design and UX team, and we wanted to have a conversation about, what's leading our work there, what are the design principles, what's on your mind?
Okay, so we have a very challenging product. It's very broad and very deep. When we came to think about how we want to do our UI and UX, we figured we want to have a very consistent feeling to it. So with minimum training, anyone who is coming into the system, once he gets familiar with one aspect of the system, he can immediately be productive everywhere. So as I talk, I'll show a few of the examples.
It's almost an impossible product to design.
Yeah, it's very challenging. It's true. First, let's look at one of the main views that we have in our systems. So, in many places in the UI, we will see this kind of view where we have a list of items. We get a lot of details here, and we can see sort of what's going on.
Yeah.
Of course, we can drill into any one of them, and here we get even more details. We can see which entities are related to this entity, etc.
How important is the responsiveness of the UI? I see very low latency when you try to access an
Yes,
action.
we try to have everything at the fingertips to be ready when you need it. So we proactively fetch data to be able to render the UI as quickly as possible. On the other hand, sometimes when you're trying to administer a system, you want to see more of an overview of the system,
Yes.
the bigger picture. So if we go back to the list that we saw before, in many places we have an alternate view, like the heat map here, where you can see an overview of the system and where you can see different dimensions of your data as you see fit.
I see.
For example, here we see our VMs as they are distributed through the nodes, but say I'm more interested in seeing how they are distributed through the accounts in the system, and then by the account and then by the instance type. This is
So I get a completely different view.
completely different view.
Very, very nice. So it actually allows me to look at a large set of data and navigate intuitively through this.
Yes. It also allows you to take actions on these. Say these group of micro instances are interesting to you,
Yeah.
you can select them, and even if you go back to the list, they are still selected here.
That's very nice.
So you can work with them together or independently.
So the two views that are correlated because of that.
Yes.
And I can take an action from any one of these screens.
Yes,
Let's say
correct.
I want to look at this Bastion instance.
This one?
Yeah. Oh, so now we can immediately navigate to the instance view
Yes.
from there.
Yes. Also for the heat map, if you were here and you would select one of these guys, you could instantly travel to the instance page.
I see. So we have complete navigation from the different panels, from the different screens, from the different
Yes.
facets of the information.
Yes, it's because our system is aware of all the different parts of it, we can interconnect things. And even if, for instance, a database has some info about a volume or VM, we can connect these things.
I see. So when we're looking at a unified platform, right, we need to be able to mesh all of these information sources in order to allow you to manage it with a minimum number of clicks.
Correct. The minimum number of clicks is something we also think about. We try to make our system very productive and efficient when you, again, get used to it. So common tasks like navigation and executing commands are at your fingertips. So of course you can click at the top left corner to access the navigation menu, but we have a keyboard shortcut which is Command K or Control K, which brings you here from anywhere, and then you can just type a few letters, for instance, DB, oops, wrong example. For instance, LB, and
I get my load balance.
you get your load balancers. Another small thing that we did here with the menu is that we know that when you type, you're not always super accurate, so that the search is fuzzy and supports aliases for things. So
got it. So if I have a typo, you can help me.
yeah, we're trying.
So I see a lot of attention to detail here.
Yes, this goes also to the design of the icons, which we try to make. Not only the icons, the visual palette of the thing is. We try to make it very consistent, very easy on the eyes, very simple, very clean.
So I know for a fact that we don't train our customers to use the platform, and yet they manage to do that with minimal effort. How did you achieve that?
I think the focus on consistency here paid off because, as I said, once you see one of these screens, you figure out how the UI works in one place. You can apply this knowledge anywhere.
I see. So if it's consistent and intuitive, I can start using it immediately.
Correct. Let me showcase another one of the features.
Yeah.
A productive feature is if I do command dot, I get this action menu where
Nice.
this is available again everywhere. So even if I'm in the load balancing screen right here, I can launch a VM. And here I am
pretty cool.
in the VM create flow. While we're here, say I've started typing here the details of the VM, and when I get to the network part, I realize that I didn't create the network that I need to use here. In many places in the UI, you could see the little plus signs.
Yep.
They allow you to segue and to start a different flow. And when you finish it, you can
go back.
You'll be back where you were before, and you could use the entity that you created.
So if I'm creating a VM, I need to attach it to a network. I don't have a network defined. I can create a network from within the VM flow while maintaining my position. Where it was.
Correct.
It makes it much easier instead of doing context switches and then need to redo my work because I forgot to do something.
Exactly.
All right, that's beautiful. Now, I imagine the keyboard shortcuts are important because a lot of people are coming from a command line background.
Yes.
So that's a very interesting combination. Keyboard walkthroughs in a UI.
In a rich UI.
In a rich UI environment.
Yes, I think yes. We know our customers are developers or support developers, and they're very familiar with the command line tools, and this is very common.
I think it's very important to approach them where they're very comfortable, and then helping them achieve that. That's beautiful.
Let me just show another type of view that showcases these details versus overview kind of thing. So if I go here to the networks screen, again we have here a lot of things. We have here many items, and it's not really that simple to see how things are connected to each other.
Yeah, I see multiple accounts, different subnets, VLANs, a lot of information.
Yeah, so we have created this overview screen, which tries to get you in a bird's eye view.
A visual explorer of
everything.
Of everything.
So this can be maybe a little overwhelming if your system is large, but it's very easy to reduce the number of entities. Say I'm not caring about VMs here, I can just take them out, or maybe I'm just interested in one specific VPC. Again, super easy to focus your attention.
So now I can actually drill down,
and I can zoom here, zoom in here. I can click entities. I can navigate.
And this is actionable.
I can go right into the entity here.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Another thing that ties the two concepts together of consistency and overview versus details is how we treat events. Whenever you see events of an entity or the general events in the system, for instance, I'm going to some random VM, there's a bar here at the top which summarizes all the events that happen to this entity.
On a timeline.
On a timeline. If I go to the system events view, you will see the exact same thing, where you can see all the different type of events on a timeline. Again, you can click here, and these views are linked together and help you navigate quickly.
So I see my errors that allow me to escalate my warnings, my information. I see high density of events that happened close to 12 p.m.
Again, yeah, and again, this is interactive. I can go in here.
I can zoom in.
I can zoom in.
It's very nice.
And look again at the details of a specific event.
I see.
Another use case for this kind of widget is, say, I can explore this data a little bit differently. I can filter the event showing only the event for logged in users, and then I can ask this guy to change the grouping.
Oh, I see.
And now actually I see who is logging in and when.
Not by severity, but instead
But by a different attribute of the event. So this is very flexible and allows you to do many things.
Beautiful. So now I can start looking at my data again from different dimensions on a timeline. Gorgeous. Cool. Thank you, Guy. I think we just got a taste of how we're thinking about interaction, how we're thinking about design in Symphony.
Thank you.
Thank you.